squad, it's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with my 20 best television shows of 2022 list. Y'all know I am a TV nista. I pretty much watch any and everything outside of the reality and some of the drama series that I do here on my channel. So I want to give you guys an inside peek at what were some of my favorite shows of 2022. Let's get it. Let's go. To start off my list at number 20, we have Hulu's Reasonable Doubt. This show came out during the fourth quarter of 2022. It was produced and even directed by Kerry Washington. This was one of her babies, this show. It was something that she saw come through from beginning to it airing on television, and I must say that she and her team did a wonderful job with this show. I love the main character, Jack. She was strong, she was cocky, she was sophisticated, she was sexy, she was sexual, honey. She would give you the business. And even though her character was very strong and forthcoming, she still had vulnerabilities about her. She still had things from her past that she was struggling with and dealing with. She was struggling with being a mom, being a wife, being a good friend, being a good daughter. And the court case that she dealt with throughout season 1 was a nail biter, and it has so many twists and turns with a very shocking ending. All I got to say is episode 6 and her love scene with Michael Ealy, honey. One of the hottest love scenes I have seen on television in quite some times, baby. I went back and watched that several times because you couldn't tell me that they ain't like each other for real, and that wasn't just no accident. So if you have not checked out Reasonable Doubt on Hulu, do yourself a favor and binge watch it. Season 1 was great. Hopefully they get a season 2. Number 19 on the list also came out during the fourth quarter of 2022, and it is Peacock's The Best Man, The Final Chapters. So after over 10 years, we finally got the ending, the long-awaited ending to the Best Man series. We first were introduced to this cast in the late 90s. I want to believe it was 1999, and the movie instantly became a classic amongst the Black community. And years later, over 10 years later, we had a sequel, and then another over 10 years later, we finally got this limited series on Peacock. I actually wish that they would make it a actual television series because it was really good. It did have some cheesy, like Lifetime type of moments, but overall, I think that the cast did a wonderful job. I did a full review of my thoughts on the series on my channel if you have not checked that video out. But it was just so great to see the main cast, the original cast, all come back together. Everybody's still alive and kicking, looking great, and getting to the bag together. So it was a great nostalgic watch, and I can't honestly wait to watch it again. Episodes 1 and 2 were my absolute fave. Now, y'all know I love me a good superhero television show or movie. So coming in at number 18, we have Amazon Prime's hit television show, The Boys. After several years of watching The Boys, I cannot say anything negative about this show. The cast consistently brings it with their acting, with the plot line, with the cinematography, with the costuming, with the fight sequences. Everything is done impeccably on this show. It is gruesome. It is diabolical, honey, and I enjoy every second of this mayhem, honey. If you're into guts, glory, superheroes, romance, laughter, The Boys is the show for you. And Anthony Starr, the actor behind the infamous character Homelander, does his thug thizzle. Homelander is by far one of the best villains ever, not just on television, but ever. At number 17, we have HBO's The Gilded Age. Now, this is a show that kind of started off a little slow for me, but as I continued to watch it, I grew to love this show. It gives you like that PBS type of vibe, but I love the historical references. I love this time period. I love the fashions. And I love that this show is all about hierarchy. Everyone on this show is fighting for status, for independence, for freedom, for a voice, for power. And so when this new family moves into the neighborhood and they are beyond rich, the wife finds herself unable to connect to any of the women in this society. And they give her hell, honey. And she has to jump through hoops in order to get any acknowledgement from these women. There is romance. There is race, issues brought up in this show. I love this show. I love it. I love that we get to see the maid service, the people that work for these wealthy people. We get to see their lives and everything. If you are a fan of, say for instance, Bridgerton or Downton Abbey, you will like the Gilded Age a lot. Coming in at number 16 is a show that my bestie Monique hit me to, and it is Paramount Plus's Mayor of Kingstown. Jeremy Renner, who you all may know from the MCU, is the main character and star of this show. And Jeremy Renner does action better than most actors, honey. He is gritty, he is rough, he is raw, and he still has this kind of like sex appeal about him that make you want to give him some. Yes, sir. So this show is all about this family who has had generations in the community's police system. The matriarch of the family has lost her husband and other family members due to them being in service, and she's trying to keep her family intact after the death of her son early on in the season story. Spoiler alert. But we see this town that is pretty much ran by the prison system there. They have a huge population of prisoners that this town makes money off of and employs people. And you get to see the relationship between the prisoners, the guards, the wardens, all of these different people, lawyers, the prisoners' storylines, the civilian storylines, and how they all come together and intertwine. And let me just tell you, the last 2 episodes of season 1 of Mayor of Kingstown, episode 9 and 10, honey, some of the best action I have ever seen, ever. It had me on the edge of my seat. It was so good. Check out Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount Plus. The last time I did my favorite television shows list was, I believe, maybe in 2020. And I know for a fact the last time I did this that the number 15 show was on the list. And number 15 is Gangs of London. If you have never watched Gangs of London, if you're over in the UK, you can watch it on the Sky Channel. But if you're here in the States, you can watch it on AMC Plus, the app. It has only been 2 seasons thus far. But let me tell you something. If you love action, drama, intrigue, suspense, this is the show for you. This series has some of the best fight sequences I have ever seen in my life. Especially season 1. Season 2, they kind of cut back a little bit on the fight scenes, but the ones that they did give us were stellar. There is a fight scene midway through the season between one of the female characters by the name of, what was her name? Lulu, it's something with an L. And when I tell you, sister girl kicks ass and takes name. There's so many plot twists. You will find yourself rooting for one person, then hating them in the next. This show is everything and more. And the season finale episode had me shooketh, okay? I cannot wait for season 3. It's probably going to take another 2 years before it comes back out. But until then, if you have not seen Gangs of London, check out season 1 and 2 right now. Coming in at number 14, we have MTV's Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore has been a show that has always landed on my favorites list as far as my favorite television shows. I have watched Jersey Shore since season 1 and kept up with the cast lives over the years. And I must say that they still keep me intrigued. I still Can't not wait every Thursday to catch a new episode of Jersey Shore. I find myself hating JWoww, loving Snooki's shenanigans when she's drunk. It is the funniest thing I've ever seen, especially when her and Dina are drunk together. It is just pure comedy. Let me tell you, I'm Team Angelina. I don't like the way the girls treat her. Vinny is hilarious. Love Pauly. This past season, Mike was being messy again, and I did not like it. I'm starting not to like his wife, Lauren. She gets on my nerves, and I'm a huge fan of Nikki, Pauly's girlfriend. The new season of Jersey Shore is about to air in a few weeks, and you know I will be frontline and center. Hulu's Handmaid's Tale is my number 13 pick. I was late to the game when it came to Handmaid's Tale. I didn't get on to the show until I believe 2020 or 2021. But when I did, I never looked back, honey. This show is amazing. When I tell you Elizabeth Moss plays the hell out of June Osborne, June Osborne has literally become a feminist hero. Like, she kicks ass and she takes names, honey. She has no fear in her heart, honey. She is a thug. She is a rider, and I cannot wait to see her exact more revenge on the people of Gilead, honey. Season 6, I believe, that is on the way, the last and final season, where we will see her and Serena take down Gilead together. Baby, it is going to be must-see TV, and I will be sitting in front of my television with a good old bag of Cheez-Its, honey, and a fruit punch vest. At number 12 is a very controversial show. Some people loved this show, other people detested it. Well, I loved it. At number 12, we have HBO Max and Just Like That. I'm a huge Sex and the City fan. When I say I'm a huge Sex and the City fan, I'm not just saying that for clout. No, I have the box series, honey. I have watched every episode. I don't know how many times. I know quotes from the show. I live for Carrie's fashion. I wish that I was Carrie Bradshaw growing up. Hell, I still wish I was Carrie Bradshaw to this day, honey. So when they brought the show back, I got my whole entire life. I could not wait until it debuted on HBO Max, honey. And to me, the girls didn't disappoint. I love the storyline. Spoiler alert, Big died season 1. I understood it. I got it. I was happy with it. I love the way they handled it. I love seeing the transition with these ladies. They're no longer in their 30s. They are 50-something-year-old women. And it's good to see women of a particular age being on television, living their lives, still being fly, still being sexy, still being hip, and figuring out their lives. Because you would think at the age of 50 you would know everything, but you still have curveballs thrown at you daily. So I love the show. I can't wait for season 2. It can't get here fast enough. Let me know down below in the comment section, did you enjoy it? And Just Like That, or are you one of the people that didn't enjoy it? My number 11 pick was an instant hit when it debuted on Hulu this year, and it is The Bear. Jeremy Allen White plays Carmen in the show, and I have been attracted to Jeremy ever since he was on Showtime hit show Shameless playing Lip. He has always been so fine to me, so sexy with those blue eyes and his little short muscular self. He can get it. Well, baby, he really showed his acting chops in The Bear. It was only 8 episodes, I believe, for season 1, and every episode they did what needed to be done. I love Ayo Edie Beery. I hope I'm saying her name right. I know I'm not, but I believe her name is pronounced Ayo. She played Sydney on the show. Sydney was fantastic. She played a chef on the show under Jeremy, who is like this world-renowned chef that kind of like lost his way and ended up having to take over his brother's restaurant after something tragic happened to him. And his character, Carmen, is struggling. He's going through some mental issues, but you see him trying to pull himself and this restaurant up by his bootstraps. It was an endearing, funny, dramatic show, and it was a show that you didn't want to see go off. By episode 8, I was wanting more. I cannot wait for season 2. This show needs all of the awards. Jeremy needs to win for Best Actor because he did that, and I'm excited for season 2 of The Bear. Number 10. Yes, we are at number 10. Number 10 on my list is Bravo's Summer House. This last season of Summer House was everything and more. These crazy white folks and some of these black people on this show are insane and dramatic, and I live for each moment. My favorites on this show, of course, are Sierra, one of the black girls on the show, Maya, another black girl on the show, Paige, who is a fashionista white girl on the show, and I love Amanda and her sometimes very obnoxious husband, Kyle. This last season, though, we saw Sierra versus Lindsay. I cannot stand Lindsay at all. I could not stand Danielle this past season and how shady they were towards Sierra. Sierra and Danielle end up having an altercation. It was crazy, and I have been counting down the days until this new upcoming season of Summer House airs on Bravo. Danielle and her former bestie Lindsay have fallen out, and I cannot wait to see why. Now Lindsay and Sierra are cool, and the dynamics have just shifted and changed, and I just love this reality show. It is everything. At number 9 on my list is another reality show. Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a second. Okay, time's up. It is Bravo's The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Season 12 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills saw the star that is Garcelle Bouvet rise higher than ever. Her homie on the show, Sutton Honey, rose to the occasion. We went up for Crystal at times, but then we saw this surgence of none other than Kathy Hilton's, and she became America's sweetheart. We saw us hate even more than we thought we could Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane. Kyle got on our everlasting nerves. It was just a crazy season, and we just saw the mean girls continue to be mean and snotty and nasty and inconsiderate and two-faced and bullies, and it was exhausting. It was infuriating. I love the moments where Sutton and Garcelle got the girls together. I lived for the reunion when Kathy got Lisa Rinna together. I'm actually excited about season 13. I can't wait to see the dynamics, who ends up returning, what friends of the show will be added. I'm looking forward to it, and I just want to see Garcelle and Sutton continue to grow into the mega house reality stars that they are. Netflix mega watch hit show Wednesday is my number 8 pick. I couldn't even honestly see anybody else playing the Wednesday character outside of Christina Ricci. So when we heard that Netflix was bringing a show to their app called Wednesday, I was like, oh, y'all done lost y'all mind. Don't disrespect Christina, because if she ain't playing Wednesday, then I don't want to see it. But I quickly learned that she was not going to play Wednesday, and that they had brought on another actress by the name of Jenna Ortega. And I was like, okay, we'll see what she ends up giving. We'll see if she can live up to the performance that Christina Ricci did back in the 90s. Well, I can honestly say that Jenna Ortega not only lived up to it, but even, I want to say, surpassed it. She did an awesome job playing Wednesday. She had all of the characters' nuances and quirks, her deadpan expression, that dance sequence that she did, the fashions, her wit, her humor, the fact that she was athletic, she knew how to fight, she was very smart. I just loved everything about it. I loved it was that season 1 was a season of whodunit. It was a thriller and it was a game of Clue. And I just loved everything about it. It has become Netflix, I think, third biggest show in network history. Like, that is crazy. Season 2, we already know, is going to happen, and I cannot wait. Catherine Zeta-Jones also playing her mom. Chef's kiss. At number 7, we have Peacock's Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2. When I first heard about this cast of women that they put together for Season 2 of Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, I knew that we were going to have a stellar season on our hands. And the ladies did not disappoint at all. From episode 1 to the last episode, there was nothing but drama and laughter. Honey, I got my life with every episode. I hung on to the ladies' every word, every movement, every fight, everything. Brandy Glanville saying that lady that worked at their restaurant was a lesbian, and how she knew the lady was a lesbian was via her eyebrows, will be one of the funniest things I have ever seen on television. Dorinda continued to be crazy, controlling, and a drunk and angry. Vicky Gunvalson continues to be delusional and self-absorbed. I was never a huge fan of Phaedra. I didn't really care for her on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I enjoyed her immensely amongst these ladies. I felt like she fit in perfectly. Eva was great on the show. I love Tamra. Jill is just all over the place and so needy and just wants to be seen and heard. And it was just fantastic. Like, I would love to get another season with those ladies again on somebody's island next time. But honey, I have went back and watched season 2 at least 3 times now, and I know I will be watching it again. My number 6 pick is a show that I had heard about for quite some time, but never sat down to actually watch it until 2022. And that is Top Boy. Top Boy is a great crime show. It is based in the UK. It stars Ashley Waters. And when I tell you I fell in love with this man, oh my God, I fell in love with this man. I went to start following him on Instagram. He's married, unfortunately. But that man is fine, honey. And he does a bang up job playing the lead character in Top Boy. Top Boy to me is like the British version of The Wire. It is absolutely perfect. It is perfection. After watching this show, it stayed with me for days afterwards. That's how good it was. The storylines, the acting, everything was just amazing. Like, I found myself crying. I found myself rooting for people. I found myself just in awe of the things that were happening, the people that lived, the people that died, the drug game, everything. It was just impeccable. Top-notch acting and writing on everybody's part. We have reached number 5, and I know you guys will not be able to guess my top 5 favorite television shows of 2022. Well, let me tell you what is my number 5 pick. At number 5, we have House of the Dragon. I know you all are probably shocked that this is just number 5 on my list, but this show was great. It was great from beginning to end. I enjoy doing my reviews on this show. I had such a great time making you guys laugh. But the acting on this show was great. The actor that played King Viserys did a phenomenal job playing this father, this husband, this king. And the one thing that I loved about his character is that he was ride or die for his daughter until the end. Ride or die. He was a great father. The actress that played Rhaenyra did a fantastic job. Young Rhaenyra and the adult version of her. The actor that plays her Uncle Daemon, who then becomes her husband, did a great job. You have great villains on this show. You have great heroes, but everybody is flawed in their own way in this show. And the dragons, oh my God, the dragons. I cannot wait to see these dragons go up and start banging on Little Rock. It is going to be everything. Oh my God, I cannot wait. HBO's award-winning show Euphoria is my number 4 pick. Let me tell you something. Zendaya carries this show on her back. This lady was born to play Rue. She does some of the best acting I've ever seen done. She taps into a place that most people wouldn't dare go to play this character. The episode when her character was having a fit because she could not find her drugs because her mother had took them. Baby, I know that was the episode that got her that Emmy, and she better win a Golden Globe for that performance because Mama did the whole thing, the whole thug thizzle, that entire episode. You really felt like you were watching an actual addict go through withdrawals and craving a hit and would do anything to get high. It was amazing. It was amazing. Zendaya is a quadruple threat. She can act, she can sing, she can dance, honey. She can direct. She can do anything she wants to do. And I am obsessed with every move that she makes. She's a model. She's a glamour girl. She just cannot be stopped. She is on fire. And this last season of Euphoria was everything. That season finale episode, baby. That season finale episode with Fez and his little brother. Wow. Wow, wow, wow is all I have to say. And when Maddie finally got her hands on Cassie, baby, girl, I ain't got nothing else to say. Okay, you guys, we are at my top 3 favorite television shows of 2022. And my number 3 pick literally had me in tears practically every episode. And that is Paramount Plus hit television show 1883. 1883 is brought to us via the writer and producer Taylor Sheridan, who has become one of my absolute favorites in the industry. He is also behind Mayor of Kingstown and so many other shows that's on TV right now. But what he did with 1883 was some of the best dramatic work I've ever witnessed for network television. The landscaping that they did, the cinematography, the working with animals, which you all know is hard to do, but having these actors on horse, having to learn how to ride horseback. The show's leads were Faith Hill and her husband Tim McGraw. I've seen Tim McGraw act in a lot of things, but I have never seen Faith Hill act. And when I tell you they both were stellar at their roles, neither one of them were lacking. The young lady that played the character Elsa, Elizabeth May is her name. She is one to watch. I was so disappointed that she was not nominated during award season because her performance as Elsa was legendary. Legendary. That girl went there. She tapped in to a lot of places, like I said, that actors are sometimes unwilling and fearful to go. But Elsa was a heroine, and by not a heroine actor, but like literally a heroine. She was strong. It was a coming of age story with her character. We saw her fall in love, get heartbreak, learn how to fight, become, strong and fearless. And she was just everything. Oh my gosh, she was everything. I wish that this would have been an actual series, but it was just a 1-season show because it was the prequel to Taylor Sheridan's hit #1 show Yellowstone. But they did what needed to be done with just this 1 season of this show. It was stellar, and like I said, it was a tearjerker, but it had a lot of action moments. If you like westerns like myself, then you will love to see these characters make this trek across the country to find basically their home, to see where they're going to set up shop and start this new life, and everything that happens on this voyage and who survives and who does not. It was excellent. My second all-time favorite show of 2022 is Paramount's Yellowstone. I was introduced to the Dutton family late 2021, and I was so mad that I had not been watching this show since its first season. But what made me start watching the show is because I kept on hearing about this show called Yellowstone and how good it was. And I was on Bethany Frankel's TikTok and she was talking about the show and how great it was. So I said, you know what, let me watch this. And so I started watching it, and it took me a few episodes to like pick up on the rhythm of the show and what was going on. And once I figured out the dynamics of the show, I was like, oh baby, this is the one here. This show has everything that I love in a television show. It has drama, action, westerns, aesthetic, cowboys, cowgirls. It has romance, it has humor, it has intrigue, it has political drama, it has corporate espionage, it has everything. It has family infighting. Oh my God, you have these families and these people fighting over this land, and you rooting for the Duttons, but then you see where the Native American people whose land that they honestly kind of like took, not even kind of, but did, you see where they're coming from and you're rooting for them too. And oh my God, the love story between Beth and Rip is one of the best romances that I have ever seen. The last couple that I went up this hard for on a television series that I can think of off the top of my head is Whitley and Dwayne. But Beth and Rip are completely different. Beth and Rip are these two characters who practically grew up together. Rip was this young misplaced boy filled with anger, with no family. He came out on that thug, type time, you know what I'm saying? And he ended up working for her father at the Dutton Ranch. And Beth was this snarky, dry sense of humor, mean-spirited young girl who had no mother, who was trying to figure out who she was, who was mad at the world, and they end up finding each other, and they have this love story that evolves over years. And Rip is just everything a girl could want in a man. He is strong. He's a protector. He's a provider. Honey, he don't take no mess from nobody. He will whoop your ass in a second. And oh my God, I just love them. Beth's character don't play. She is about that life. I love that she is a bitch, but she's a lovable bitch at that. Her one-liners are everything. Kevin Costner plays John Dutton on the show. He is the matriarch of this family. And baby, I ain't never looked at Kevin Costner in a way since Bodyguard, but baby, Kevin Costner old ass can get tit however he wants it. Yes, sir. And today, as I'm filming this, is the season finale episode of Yellowstone. Well, the mid-season finale of Yellowstone, and I have not watched it yet, and I cannot wait. This is an awesome show. You all need to get into it. If you are into this show and a huge fan, I would love to do reviews on this show, but I need an audience that's going to watch it. So let me know down below in the comment section, are you a fan of the Dutton family and Yellowstone and all of the sequel shows that Taylor Sheridan has created? Because if so, I would love to do reviews when the show comes back later on this year. All right, T Squad, we have reached number 1. Do you all know what is my favorite show of 2022? I mean, it should be obvious. Number 1 is P-Valley. After 2 years of waiting for season 2 to air, P-Valley came back during the summer of 2022. And let me tell you, it was like they never left. They did not disappoint. Katori Hall wrote the hell out of season 2. They left no crumbs on the table. Everybody was full after the 10 episodes that we got in season 2. When I tell you everybody in this cast showed up and showed out, everybody. Nico Anon, Jay Alphonse, Shannon Thornton, Tyler LaPlay, Brandy, everybody did their thug thizzle. The storylines were not predictable at all. We saw Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder going through their breakup, loving each other from afar, missing each other. Lil Murder going out on his tour and being reacquainted with his first love from jail, struggling with his feelings for him as well as his feelings for Uncle Clifford. We dealt with mental health issues this season, physical abuse this season. We saw Mercedes' character having to do unthinkable things to keep herself afloat. We saw the political race of who was going to become the new mayor. We saw Uncle Clifford struggling and fighting to keep the pink open. We saw his grandmother go through COVID and him almost lose her. It was so much stuff that happened in this show, but by far the most impactful storyline for me was the storyline between Lil Murder's character and Big Teak. The actor that played Big Teak, oh my God, he's actually a talented Broadway actor who can sing and dance, and he transformed himself into this thug, honey. And he was so believable as Big Teak, and we saw him dealing with mental health issues, dealing with suppressed family issues that he had growing up, with, you know, his family being taken away from him in a very horrific way, and him having survivor's remorse for that, him having to adjust to being out of prison and not adjusting at all, realizing that the man that he loved had moved on to somebody else. It was just an amazing storyline to be taken on. And what really solidified P-Valley as my number one favorite show this season is that we have a show that is a full African American casted show that everybody in the culture watches, from actors to actresses to rappers to singers. Everybody watches P-Valley. And what has really been profound to me is that men have embraced the character of Lil Murder, even though he is gay. They have embraced seeing these two men in this relationship and rooting for them. And that wouldn't have been possible 10 years ago to have a show like P-Valley. And it shows that we have come so far, but we still have so far to go, because you'll still see people that I know, family members, that'll be like, I don't want to see all that gay stuff, see no two men doing all that. Like, why is they doing it? And it's just like, what? It's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? Just like straight people are a part of life, homosexual people are a part of life. Get over it. But this show just gives you everything that you would want in a television series. You got the music, the dancing, the acting, the costuming, the set locations, the guest appearances that we had this season from Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Murder's performance at the strip club, Mercedes finally getting her last dance, the beef between the Hurtville Hustlers and the other gang in the show. Like, it was just phenomenal. I know they're saying it's going to be like another 2 years before we get season 3. Hopefully it doesn't take that long, but even if it did, after seeing what Katori Hall did with season 2, it is well worth the wait, because we'll know what type of product we're going to get in the end. I wish that this show would have got nominated for award season. It has not, but prayerfully moving forward, it didn't get nominated also because they didn't qualify, because the show aired too late into the year. So hopefully, prayerfully next year, J. Alphonse and the actor that played Big T will get their nominations, and prayerfully their wins, because they deserve it. So you guys, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have not been acquainted to any of these shows, hopefully you will be now, and that you will tune into them. Let me know what were your favorites. Give me some suggestions of shows to watch that I might not have already mentioned. Let's talk down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.